Hey listeners, you know, I'm an abstract artist and I hear this all the time. Your work, I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. How do shapes mean something? Well, I'm going to show you in this podcast how to answer that question next time you're at a show so that you can appear and know that you have strategy behind your work. Follow me. All right, here we are at my show, The Emotional Roller Coaster. I've had such a blast putting this show together. The concept is simple and yet unique. What I wanted to do is combine music and art in an immersive experience. And so I created a Spotify playlist where people come, they look at the painting and they pull up the song and they see if they feel what I felt. Well, you know, I got all sorts of interesting comments when people come to the show. Everybody reacts differently, but one of the biggest questions was people would look at a painting and go, I don't understand. How can that painting make me feel a certain way? It's abstract. Well, you know, I did some researching and I want to share this with you because there's a lot of people out there that think abstract is just random. It is not. There is a theory to abstract, and I found this book by Molly Bang written in 1991 called Picture This, How Pictures Work. And so I want to share with you some of the concepts she presents in this book. The basis for her conception of this book is that we as humans have a way of communicating on a level that is far below words or even people or shapes. It's done by how shapes are drawn in position with each other, how big they are, how small they are, where they're placed on the canvas, all with gravity in mind, because we are human and we are on a planet where we are held down by gravity. And we grow up in similar experiences, whether you're in one part of the world or another. You have parents, oftentimes you don't, but mostly you start in the home. You go out into the world. All those things affect how you view the world. And Molly Bang, she used the story of Red Riding Hood to explain these principles. I'm not going to talk about how she illustrated that story, but I do jump back and follow me as we go into some of the principles that I used in this show, even though I didn't know it. Come on. This picture was the starting picture of my show, and it was a self-portrait. But I want to share one of the principles that she talks about that might seem obvious to you, but it's still on a subconscious level. Principle number 8, the larger an object is in the picture, the stronger it feels. I wanted people to feel a sense of sadness when they first start this show. I wanted to start that emotional roller coaster down low. And so this picture with me drawn up really close with the big eyes and the face pulls you in from afar away. So it lets people know the importance of this image. But I want to show you the opposite of that in this same image. On one hand, you feel the sadness of the figure, but very, very small is a little heart, not even proportional to the entire body. So I was showing how small the heart felt. Now, not only was I saying it's not as important as first feel the sadness, then realize there's an emotional component here. This guy's heart is involved, but it's feeling very small right now. His heart and how he feels very small. So this is a great way to see how these principles can be used in your art. Whether you do it consciously or unconsciously, there is design in abstract. So what is so great about this book for abstract painters, and that's me, is when people come to you and say, I don't get it. How can this tell a story? Well, it does tell a story, but it's using the most basic understanding of what it means to be human. It's talking about things like gravity and shapes and position, size and power. So when someone comes to you, go pull your copy of this book. You can order it. I just ordered it myself, or I will post these principles on my website. And you can come back to them and say, hey, look here. And so I want to tell you, one of Molly Bang's first principles is horizontal shapes give a sense of sensibility, stability, and calm. And so she shows you how a line makes you feel calm. Well, I realized when I did this painting, I didn't even know this on a conscious level. That's what's so amazing about abstracts. They work on a subconscious level. I wanted people to feel a sense of groundedness when they look at this. While I want them to feel that there is some greater power, some greater thing in life, I want them to look up, but most importantly, I put horizontal lines. And I had people say to me, why do you want to put them on 5 different canvases? Why didn't you just put it on one? And you know what, I couldn't answer it at the time, but Molly Bang has just given me a way to answer that question. because I wanted to reinforce the viewer's feeling of stability. We are all grounded here, grounded in layers. So let's go on and look at another principle that she shares and how this painting actually reflects a communication on a subliminal subconscious level. Okay, I came to another painting in the show to show you a different principle that she mentions. This principle states, we feel more scared looking at pointed shapes. We feel more secure or comforted looking at rounded shapes or curves. She compares them to the shapes of a woman's body. There's a nurturing aspect. This song, Keep Breathing, was about being calm, being centered, being grounded. And so by choosing these shapes, I wanted to make the viewer feel a sense of calm, maternal comfort of their mother. That is exactly what she talks about in this book. So people look at it and they go, I don't understand. What does this say? They're relating to it on a level that they don't even realize, a very primal level of who they are. And I want to point out one other thing that's interesting. Notice on this, there is no horizontal line. I did not want the horizontal line because the song is about being comforted, but it's also about the stress of life, that we don't feel like we're being comforted right now. In fact, we feel like we're having to breathe through our experience. I didn't want a horizontal line because that would have made people go, everything's okay. I didn't want them to say everything's okay. And that's why I chose the curves in this painting. Okay, so have I piqued your interest? Is it true? Can abstract painting actually communicate emotion? Yes, it can. It's on such a primal level. It's down deep inside your subconscious based on how you view yourself, your place in the world, and how you view the shapes on a canvas and where they are placed in the world and on the canvas. So I know that some of you might not be able to come see this show live, and I am putting it online for you. I'm gonna have the photos, and you'll have to forward them when you're done with the song, but you can also pull up the playlist on Spotify and or YouTube and listen to the music while you look at the painting and see, do I feel this? Do I feel what he felt when he created that painting? Are there shapes in there? And if you're really adventurous, you'll go buy the book and you can tell me where you see that I've used these principles in Picture This, How Pictures Work by Molly Bang, to prove that there is a language. And next time you're an artist and you're at a show and someone says, I don't get it, what is that about? You can say, there's structure and strategy all behind that. There is emotion in my work. Thank you for listening to the Spiritual Artist Podcast. Follow me on YouTube. There's going to be lots more interviews like this in the future, and you'll know more about how we create art. Thank you.